Hello. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. And today I just wanted to talk with you about some of my thoughts on frugality. Now, I've been married 40 years. I got married when I was 18 years old. I was a young woman, and I've learned a lot of things during those 40 years. Now, times have changed. Some things are different. Some things are the same. So I just wanted to share with you today. And today, the title of this video is There Are Different Types of Frugality. And that is certainly true. And those two types I found in the different types of frugality is you've got people that are frugal because they want to be frugal. They've got money in the bank. Maybe some are millionaires, but they live a frugal life because they choose to live a frugal life. And then you got the second kind of person that's frugal. And that's the people that are frugal because they have no other choice. They have no other choice than to be frugal because that's the resources. They're limited in what resources they have. So they have to be frugal just because of the circumstances they find themselves in. Now, there's people out here to tell you that everybody can be rich. Anybody can be rich. All you have to do is pursue a dream and you'll end up wealthy. That's not always the truth. And people that are low income and people that do struggle with things and look around, you know that that's the truth. There are people that have worked really hard in their life. They've worked hard all of their life, and they end up with very little in the end. It's just the way things are. There'll always be poor people. There'll always be people that have less. It's the way it is. Now, I'm frugal because I have to be frugal. I live in a household with one income. My husband works very hard to provide for us. He worked very hard to provide when our children were at home. And I worked very hard to make sure that I did the best and took the best care of the resources that he brought in that I could. So that was our situation. There was two of us. We had 3 children. We both agreed that I would stay at home and take care of the children and that he would be the provider. And that's how it was in our household. I could trust my husband. He's been a good provider. And I've done my best to make the best of the resources that we have. We didn't really have another choice for our child care because child care was so expensive in our area that you would have paid my whole salary in child care with 3 children. So that was an option. I could either go to work and bring in an income, and 90% of that income would have been for child care, or I could make the choice to raise and take care of the children myself. And so that's the decision that we came to, and that's where we were at financially. Well, that's one type of degree of frugality. You're budgeting and you're trying to make what you have work. And then there's a second frugality where you're bare bones. Your income's not enough to cover your living. You're scraping by on everything you have. And you're just bare bones frugality. You're frugal because that's where you find yourself. And it's very hard to make changes. With the jobs that are available, with the way things are, you know, people are like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make it happen. That's not always easy to do. There are people in our country that qualify for aid. They're on Medicaid. They have food stamps or food programs that meet their food needs. So their health care and their food needs are taken care of. Even their housing is taken care of. And they call it living off of the system. So they live off of the system and everything they have is taken care of. but they don't have a lot of extra money coming in for extra things. So they're living like that. And then you have the people that have more than enough money. They don't have to worry about anything. Their income's great. It's awesome. It's more, you know, they're saving, they're paying their way. They've got good insurance and things are awesome. And then you got those people that fall through the cracks. And me and Donald fall through the cracks. You don't qualify for any kind of Medicaid or any kind of program like that. Not old enough for Medicare. Insurance would be more than $1,000 a month for somebody in our situation who has $1,000 a month on one income to pay for health insurance. It's not a lot of programs out there. It's a lot that cover the needs. So there's budgeting and juggling, and there's things like that that go on because there's so many needs. When you're an adult and your car breaks down, there's not many solutions to that. You can put that on a credit card. You can work around not having a car. I mean, or you can save and make sure you have enough money to pay when your car breaks down. That's just an example. But Donald and I are in the budgeting category. We budget because we know it's our responsibility to pay our way for ourselves. And we try to budget to take care of all of our needs. I've got notes here. Now, one thing Donald and I always have done, we've done this ever since we've got married and ever since we've been on a budget. We make a needs list. There's things that you need and there's things that you won't. You need a place to live. You need food. If you're going back and forth to work, you need a vehicle and you need gas and maintenance on that vehicle. And if you have children, you have school costs that are associated with that. And then you have medical. And there's, you know, a needs list. That may vary for all of us, but in general, you know, everybody needs a place to live. They need food and they need a way to get back and forth to work. And to maintain that source, you know, if you live in a house, you have to maintain it. If you drive a car, you have to maintain it. So there's a list. Make a list of your needs, your family's needs. And that'll be your needs list. And then the second list is a want list. There are things that we all want, and you can make a list of wants, whatever that might be. And then there's what I call a necessary list. You might not want to do it, but it's necessary. Say if you have a home and you're buying that home, you'll have to do maintenance on that home at some point. And so there's things that you put on that list. We were saving for a deck, and I'll show you our deck. We've had this deck for quite a while. It does need to be cleaned up out here. But look at the condition of our deck. So we need a new deck. There's no question about it. We're going to have a new deck. This one is rotting. Now Donald's going to repair that one board. He'll take that board that's broken and rotten. He'll take that up and put a new board down to make this deck last until we can get another deck. Now we were saving for a deck, and then the insurance company sent photographers out here after 40 years of being insured by this company. And they took pictures of our house, and then they sent us a letter that told us we needed a new roof. Now our roof was only 8 years old. But they determined that we needed a new roof, or for a contractor to come out here and write a letter that this roof was okay. Well, Donald just decided, since that happened, that he was going to go ahead and put a new roof on this house. And he did. So he took the savings that we had for the deck, And he put the roof on because of the situation that came up. He was flexible in that area. So now we have a new roof that's going to last for quite a while. But our deck is still in the condition that it's in, so now we're saving for a deck. Now we never know, life circumstances, we don't know whether we'll get a new deck or not because something else may come up that's more serious than this deck. But we've got a list of necessary things that we need, and a new deck is on that list. Now a tip that I have is, it all adds up. All the money you spend adds up. Maybe it's $5, $10, or $15 or $20 here, or a little bit here and a little bit there. It's so easy for our spending to become obsessive and out of control. It's just one of those things that so easy to spend and so hard to earn. So if you're paying your way, just know that it all adds up, even pennies. Now, there's an attitude sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, it's bad luck, that penny's on tails. Well, my grandma's motto for that was, if you find a penny, it's good luck. Anytime you find money, it's good luck, pick it up. And so that's what she would always do. Even if it was a penny on tails, she wouldn't put up with that nonsense. She always picked that penny up because she found money, and that was lucky to her. And another thing, coupons and discounts. Be sure and take the time to find out about your discounts and your coupons, because I have a little store that I like to go to, and every time you spend so much money, you get this punch on this little card. And after you get like 5 punches, you'll get $5 off on your next visit. And I take care of that little card, and I enjoy that little card. There's some people that's like, no, thank you. I don't need that. I don't want you to punch that card. But it adds up. That's $5. If you found $5 on the ground, you'd pick it up, probably. So value the things that comes your way that saves you money. Make the effort to pay attention to them. I always look forward to using my little card when it gets full from that particular store. Another thing that I've got on my list is I have a friend. Well, let me just go down here. I live in the city, and you're going to hear city noises. The fire department up here they're having to come out on something. I hear sirens, but I'm sorry if that bothers you. Well, the next thing on the list is be satisfied. If it's not new and you have to buy a second hand, don't feel like you're less that you bought something that was second hand. I can't tell you of the people that don't have to shop second hand, that shop second hand because of the great values they find and the great items that they find that's in such good condition. Somebody else didn't value it. They donated it to a thrift store. Maybe they cleaned out. But you value it because it met a need. It meets a need for you. So be satisfied no matter where your item comes from. If you purchase it or somebody gives it to you, that's yours. It's yours now to do what you want to do with it. So just be satisfied with it. Clean it up, take care of it, appreciate it, and enjoy it. It doesn't matter that it came from a thrift store, and it certainly doesn't matter to me. In fact, I love a time-worn look that comes from things like second-hand purses or that have been taken care of, and they've got a time-worn look to them, or many things that I appreciate the fact that they already have some wear on them, and they're to that comfortable point. So just be satisfied with whatever you get. Be satisfied with it and use it for as long as you can. Take care of it. And the next thing I have on my list is don't pay more for something. Wow, there is just a lot of sirens. A lot going on. I may have to pause this for a minute. But the next thing on the list is don't pay more for something when less will work. If you can make a homemade cleaner and it's just as effective as an expensive cleaner and that helps you meet your budget and that helps you take care of things, then it's not less because you made it and it works. If it works, use it. If it's a homemade cleaner or whatever, don't feel like you're less. Now, I know in my experience cleaning the house, I've cleaned the same house for 40 years. Now, I enjoy buying a beautiful, fresh cleaner that smells good, and it just makes the house cleaning, it just gives it a boost and makes it more fun. But I've since learned that I'll just go ahead and make my own and save a few bucks. It all adds up. And I wash my face in coconut oil because, I have coconut oil that I cook with anyway, and I have learned to love it. I can't imagine any other face wash that I would rather use than coconut oil because it just, it doesn't clog your pores, it's non-drying, and it's cost effective for me. It's edible. I mean, you know what's in it is coconut oil, so it's not going to hurt you. Of course, if you have special medical needs, if you have acne or something like that you might need a different kind of cleaner for your face, well, then you have to take in consideration all of your needs for your budget. But for me, coconut oil, it's the greatest face wash. Love it. Been satisfied with that for many years. Now I've got Don't Assume on here. Now, I'm a member of a group, a ladies' fellowship group that I dearly love. I've been a member of that group for almost 20 years. It's a group of ladies of many different backgrounds, many different religions. I mean, it's just a varied group of ladies that get together. We were planning to collect food for the food bank to donate, in our ladies' fellowship's name. And we had one of the members in there that said, well, I don't know anybody that goes to a food bank. And I thought, how presumptuous, because there were people that did go to the food bank in that group. Evidently, she did not know it, and they didn't share it with her probably for a reason. But don't assume that people that you meet or people that you know are not struggling in an area. There are many people that are struggling. There are many people that are deep in debt. Being frugal, it's an art. There are people that are more frugal than others by nature, and there are people that have to learn to be frugal, and then there are people that have to be frugal. But don't assume that anybody you know is not struggling. I mean, there are plenty of people that are struggling and they just don't announce it to the world. There are many people that are trying to make their budget meet, and everything they spend matters. So be considerate and don't assume that other people just because they look affluent are. Sometimes it's not that way. And the next thing on my list, my topic, is do the best you can with what you have. With what you have. You're responsible for what you have. It's so easy to look around and say, well, they have everything. They get everything. I mean, just the abundance, the waste. They just have so much. And here I am, I'm counting pennies and I'm struggling to get along. It doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It matters what you do with what you have. So do the best you can with what you have. Now, for many years, I drove really old minivans. I had 3 children and I love minivans. We were able to buy one new minivan and I drove it for 14 years. Keep it clean, take care of it, maintain it, be satisfied with what you have. I'm not saying you have to drive your vehicle for 14 years, I'm just saying that was our case. Loved them, the ability to carry our family and to have the space and all the things that we needed. And so take care of what you have. Clean it and keep it in good condition. And don't be ashamed to drive something that's vintage, because somebody else has something better. Well, I think that's all I have on my little infos cards today to share with you. I hope it's helped you in some ways. I hope it's encouraged you not to give up. Don't feel less than because you're in a budget situation or you're having to be frugal to make your ends meet. You know, it's a challenge, and but it's very rewarding. It can be very rewarding to be frugal. And once you learn to be frugal and all of your needs are met, you can also learn to be frugal and to help other people. So there's different reasons for being frugal, and I understand, and I am frugal because I am thankful. You know, I've had to make do, and I've had to do without things, and over the years I have learned to be thankful and to be frugal with what I have, not to be wasteful with it, because I may have a lot today, but things may be tight later down the road. So just learn that it's not less life because you have to be frugal. It's very rewarding in other ways when you learn to take care of what you have and make it do, and it's not continual waste. Now there's a girl on YouTube, and her channel is Raising Wildflowers. I love to watch this girl. I'm not sure of what her name is. I don't know that I've ever caught her name. But the name of the YouTube channel is Raising Wildflowers. And I'll just put a link to her YouTube channel in my description today. And you might want to give that a check. She's a younger woman, and she has small children. And I love her tips, and I love her guidelines for being frugal. I think she's on point. It's excellent. She's got genuine advice to help younger couples, younger people out here trying to cut their costs and to be frugal. So I wanted to share that channel with you today. Hopefully you'll go there and get some ideas, and it'll help you out. I hope something I said has helped you out today. I appreciate you so much. There will be other, I do a random vlog on being frugal. Frugality is a big part of my world. It's a big part of how I manage, and I love to share the frugal tips, and I love to get frugal tips. And if you have any, I'd love you to share those in the comments. Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time.